What's up everyone? Spoiler warning for leaked info on Season 7 which influenced the preceding theories and ideas included in this video. With the latest news that Cersei and Euron will be teaming up early on in Season 7, it got me thinking. What are going to be the repercussions that blowing up a giant building in King's Landing along with killing several nobles from the top houses in Westeros have on Cersei Lannister? Mace, along with Marjorie and Loras of House Tyrell, who rule over the Reach, which is a vast, fertile, and heavily populated region of southwestern Westeros, were some of the people who were killed that day. According to Olenna Tyrell, House Tyrell supplied most of King's Landing with its crops and resources that it needed to sustain itself. If you will, please allow me to backtrack here a little bit. Way back in Season 4, Olenna did poison Joffrey. This of course was preemptively because Joffrey had never actually harmed or threatened Marjorie in the show. Olenna was only acting upon information that Sansa had given her. So in short, I guess you could say death of Mace, who is the son of Olenna, was some sort of sick payback for the Queen of Thorns killing Joffrey way back in Season 4, even though Cersei is not yet aware of Olenna's involvement in the Purple Wedding.
Now, I want you to tell me the truth about this royal boy, this Joffrey. You. Who else would know better? We've heard some troubling tales. Is there any truth to them? Has this boy mistreated you? Has he ripped out your tongue?
King Joffrey, his grace is very fair and handsome and as brave as a lion.
Yes, all Lannisters are lions.
To be his wife, I only want to know what that means.
Are you frightened, child? No need for that. We're only women here. Tell us the truth. No harm will come to you.
My father always told the truth.
Yes, he had that reputation, and they named him traitor and took his head.
Joffrey did that. He promised he would be merciful and he cut my father's head off. And he said that was mercy. And he took me up on the walls and made me look at it.
Child, the wind has been at you, though. I haven't had the opportunity to tell you how sorry I was to hear about your brother. War is war, but killing a man at a wedding, horrid.
How ironic is that? You say killing a man at his wedding. Is that not what you're about to do? You guys all saw her grab the little gem off the necklace, right? Getting back on track here. Cersei will have to pay for her crimes in some way or another, whether it be through dragonfire or hungry, pissed-off citizens of King's Landing who recently lost their version of Mother Teresa, aka High Sparrow. I made a prediction way back when the season first ended that Cersei will in fact leave King's Landing and escape to Casterly Rock only once she realizes that there is no way she could stand up to Dany and her forces. Casterly Rock has been mentioned a lot since the start of the series, and it would be nice to finally lay my eyes upon such a fantasized place. If Cersei does in fact flee King's Landing, this would make it believable that she has time to form an alliance with Euron next season. She could head back to the seat of House Lannister and call upon whatever bannermen she has that will remain loyal to her, and she will then receive word that Euron and his newly built fleet of 1,000 Ironborn ships has a vendetta against Daenerys. Well, not really Daenerys, but his nephew and niece, which happen to be a part of her crew. They could then strike a deal that Euron will get to seek vengeance on his niece and nephew. Then he will, of course, likely betray Cersei and go to Daenerys' side, but that's long story short. Let me know what you all think will happen. Will Cersei flee King's Landing and later form an alliance with Euron, or will the alliance happen immediately since that was the first major filming event that leaked? On a second thought, the showrunners may intentionally be filming the season in reverse so they can see how it turns out, which gives them time to adjust the scripts and do reshoots. Man, my brain just wandered there, but I'm keeping it live. I'm not going to edit this part out for you guys. Once Cersei has brokered a deal with Euron, she will likely fall victim to his manipulation and believe the fact that he is on her side in defeating Daenerys. Euron will likely just be doing this to murder his niece and nephew. Cersei will then focus her efforts on the north, regardless whether she is in King's Landing or at Casterly Rock. Jon Snow, King of the North, will spread throughout the kingdom like wildfire. Get it? But no, seriously, Cersei will focus all of her attention on Jon after Dany. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw her attempt to send an assassin to take out the White Wolf or Sansa. We did see something similar to this way back in Season 1 with Bran's attempted assassination.
You're not supposed to be here. No one's supposed to be here.
No!
And it would also be a nice callback. The only difference now is that the Lannister will actually send the assassin and not Littlefinger attempting to frame Tyrion. Justice has been dealt and history repeats itself. The writers of A Game of Thrones have a good way of storytelling and make us hate Cersei, but at the same time feel pity for her. She has lost almost everything. Her mother, for instance, Joanna Lannister, in the novels is described as being the best part of Tywin. Joanna was said to bring out what little warmth Tywin had, and that Tywin and Joanna were very deeply in love. With Cersei's mother being described in such a way as a lovely person, perhaps Joanna's early death and not having much of an influence over Cersei is partially to blame for Cersei's cold-heartedness. Let's look at things from her perspective. Tyrion, who killed her mother during childbirth, then, to her knowledge, poisoned her son. Well, let's just be honest, Tyrion exactly didn't hide the fact that he despised Joffrey so much, so you can kind of see why Cersei suspected that. Then, Tyrion kills Tywin, and as a cherry on top of the cake, her only daughter returns from a place where she was sent to by Tyrion Lannister, dead. Side note, what will Tyrion do when he finds out the Sand Snakes killed his innocent niece? I think since all this has happened to Cersei, Cersei has earned herself a seat on the table until the end of the series. Yes, she is cruel, incestuous, and can be a cunt, but had her mother had been a part of her life more, I believe things would have turned out a little different. Don't get me wrong, excuses don't pay for bruises. Imagine how Cersei will feel when she sees Tyrion arrive in King's Landing with 3 dragons and one of the biggest armies Westeros has ever seen. Cersei will receive what she deserves, it just may not be death. Not yet, anyway. Lena Headey is one of the top paid actors on the show, and she is likely signed a contract until the very end of the series. Her book counterpart, however, will likely meet her fate at the hands of Jaime or Tyrion, perhaps even Sandor Clegane. On the show, I think the best death for her would be Arya, although I predict there will be, in Season 7, there will be some sort of riot among the streets of King's Landing, and that also she will attempt to escape to Casterly Rock once Dany's fleet is on the horizon and she realizes that Euron has failed. But do not worry, justice will come to Cersei Lannister. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help me reach my goal of 15 likes. Links to my social media, as always, are in the description down below. You can click up here for more content. My name's Mark. I'll see you tomorrow. And this has been Sir Hunt's Reviews.